Right, I'd like to welcome to my show the Diversity Group.
Yay, thank you.
Okay, why is Diversity Group important?
I think it's important for everybody to be able to understand each other so that we can all work together properly.
Okay.
I think diversity is important because it brings different ideas and viewpoints together. It helps to learn from each other, spark new ideas, and make sure everyone has a fair chance.
Absolutely. I think it's all about keeping progressive, isn't it? And keeping our minds open, our conversations open, learning from each other, and always kind of learning from our lessons as well.
Okay, next question. I think this one's for Tess. How did the Diversity Group come about?
Okay, so I think it was 2020 when there was that horrible murder of George Floyd in the United States. Black Lives Matter group really came into prominence, and so MacIntyre directors started thinking about what we needed to think about diversity as a group, as a company, and so we brought in an external person to do a survey, and then the diversity group was set up so we could always promote different kinds of diversity in the organisation.
Who is the Diversity Group for?
It's quite simple. It's for everyone within MacIntyre. The aim is to include people of different backgrounds, experience, and perspectives to create a richer and more inclusive working environment.
Okay. Right, this one's for Annie. How did you meet?
So we meet a mix of online. So we'll have online sessions together where we maybe have a case or a certain situation that we might discuss, but we also kind of feedback to the group what we've all been getting up to or anything that we've come across the organization that we think may need, solutions. We also meet in person, so we can meet in person for training, and also to plan or strategize getting together resource books for MacIntyre or other kind of tools that we want to help people understand about diversity and inclusion.
Okay, well, this is for everybody. What are your hopes for the group?
I hope.
Oh,
sorry, go on. Oops.
You go, Tess, you're right.
I hope that we will continue to go from strength to strength to help us all understand each other. I've learned lots from being in this group about different things, and I hope that we'll carry on doing that and have more of an influence on MacIntyre as a whole.
Absolutely, yeah. I hope that, I guess we can really create a lot of resources, which we are doing, a lot of resources, a lot of tools that people can use to gain information about all of our subgroups, which we'll talk about in a minute, and also help people to feel just really welcomed, accepted at MacIntyre, so we can continue to get more and more people in the organization that have, amazing perspectives on life, or, and teach other people about what their life looks like.
I think the hope for our group would be that every employee within MacIntyre has a voice, and they're given a platform to express their views, concerns, aspirations, raise awareness. So I believe, especially part of our subgroup, that ultimate aim is that everyone at MacIntyre has a voice. Yeah.
right. Next question. Tell me about the different subgroups.
So our group is about sexuality. So we are supporting trans people in the workplace. We're looking at issues around gender identity and sexual orientation, romantic orientation, all of those sorts of things, to make sure that people feel comfortable at work, and that we're dealing with the issues that sometimes come up sensitively, and that we're using one of the things we're focusing on at the moment is using the right language so that people have the option to use pronouns. So whether it's she, he, they, or other pronouns about how we refer to people. So it's making people of different sexual orientations, transgender people, comfortable in the workplace.
So our subgroup are doing a neurodiversity, and we're focusing at the moment on autism, ADHD, and dyslexia, but there are lots of other neurodiversities as well. And we mainly want to obviously create resource packs. Neurodiversity is still being explored. There's still a lot that people don't know or understand about the facts of neurodiversity. And also creating network groups that people can come to and talk about their experience. So yeah, it's going really well at the moment. And yeah, I could talk about neurodiversity for hours. So yeah, I'm loving it.
Ours is the ethnicity subgroup, which I love as well. We've got a small little team that has been doing some tremendous work, and like I mentioned earlier, we give everyone a voice. So that is one of our goals, where we give everyone a voice. They can, share stories with us, raise any potential concerns, and also one of our key goals is to understand our ethnic origins. So really understanding what our ethnic origin is across the organization, so we can recognize and appreciate unique contributions of each ethnic group. We've also put together a calendar, which we'll be discussing later, and we'll also be tackling whether we've got any underrepresentation as well. So if there are any ethnic groups which are underrepresented, can we have a look at that and look at different strategies to include them within our workplace? But ultimately, one of our main goals is just to raise awareness in terms of what we're doing. Thank you.
Thank you. What projects are you working on?
So for the neurodiversity subgroup at the moment, we have got I've just started a dyslexia network group. We had the first one, which went really, really well. And from that came some people's experiences where they think that the dyslexic starters that are coming into MacIntyre could have a bit more help. So we're just looking at how we can help with that. We also are building some resource packs so managers can go to them and understand how they can help their staff members. And there's so much out there on the internet. It's just really helpful to have everything in one place so people can find out how they can get assessments, how they can know the facts about neurodiversity, because there's a lot as well where people don't know really what to believe. So yeah, that's what we're working on at the moment.
In our group, we're also working on some resource kits, some toolkits for managers who may not understand some of the issues around trans people, and around pronouns and around language. So we are just putting the finishing touches to some of those toolkits at the moment, so that managers will feel a little bit more comfortable talking about what can sometimes be quite difficult topics for people to discuss in the workplace.
One area that we're looking at is celebrating different cultures and raising awareness. So as you all know, that I was fasting last month for Ramadan.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of great interest within Central about understanding what Ramadan is and why do Muslims fast and the importance. So because there was so much interest, and there was also Ollie from HR, he wanted to also fast one day with me as well. I decided to organize a little stand in Central to raise more awareness about Ramadan, but also got my mum to do some cooking. So she brought some treats in, so samosas and spring rolls, and the lunchtime hour that we had was absolutely fantastic because everyone, there was about 20 to 30 people from Central that got to learn more about Ramadan and why it's so important to Muslims, the benefits involved as well, And then also from that, there was so much overlap with different cultures, different religions as well. And from that, we decided, let's look at, how we can also fast as a central team, not from a religious perspective, but also from a health perspective, because there's so many benefits. And then there were other individuals within that session who said, oh, I want to do a stand because it's I've got a particular day that I celebrate in the year. Why can we focus on that? So lots of positivity came from that session. So that's what we're currently working on at the minute, just raising awareness.
And I have to agree that as his mum is a great cook.
I missed it. I wasn't here.
Oh my God, the food.
It was fantastic.
Amazing.
Yeah. Next
I
time,
took a
Sui
big
Ling.
Tupperware box home with me. I felt terrible.
I took some home for my supper.
Glad you all enjoyed it. Sui Ling, next time, definitely for you.
I'd like to thank you for coming on the Sui Ling show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for the
you.
opportunity.
Yay!